How does my local newsletter get found? How does my local business get found? That's what I'm going to be answering in this video today. If you're the kind of person that has a 9-to-5 job, but you want to start your 5 to 9, you want some kind of side hustle money, what we talk about here is building a business that fits in with your lifestyle. And local businesses, local newsletters are a great way to do that, especially these days, because now we have AI in order to help us out. And what I want to talk to you about in this video is exactly how you are going to get found. So if you have a local business, this is worth watching. If you want to start a local newsletter, you're thinking about it, about growing it, which is much easier than a traditional newsletter because things like paid ads are much cheaper and the SEO and the skills you need are a lot easier, there's less competition, then this video is for you. So what we're going to do with our AI is we're going to get it to write two things. It's going to write our newsletter for us. Now this could be a local business newsletter. So it could be bringing businesses together in the local B2B niche, networking, and then you earn by connecting these businesses together. It could be a parenting newsletter. So if you're in a large city or you're serving a large area, you might be able to break down into a smaller niche, such as helping parents out with childcare, things to do on the weekend, that kind of thing. And if you want help picking the size of city or town you should be targeting for your local newsletter, then we're going to cover that in a future video. So make sure you subscribe and don't miss that. Or it could just be a simple what's on sort of food, drink, live music newsletter that you end up producing. So these newsletters are going to go out by email. They might be going out once a week, twice a week, daily. Pick something that you can manage. And then what we're also going to have is we're going to have a blog. And the blog is how we're going to get our free traffic. And the way we're going to do that is simply through Google. So if people want to find out information locally, they're going to go to Google. Then what they're going to do is they're going to type something in. Could be a question, could be a set of keywords such as emergency plumber, and then their location. So for example, if they're in Salem, Oregon, it might be emergency plumber, Salem, Oregon. It might be a bounce house, Salem, Oregon. If it's a parenting newsletter, it might be networking group, Salem, Oregon. They're going to put something in, and then Google is going to serve up a list of websites, and we are going to work so we can be near the top here. We'll get clicks on our blog, we'll provide a huge amount of value, we'll advertise our newsletter, and people will sign up because they will get one of these things, whatever niche we pick, into our inbox. And then over time we'll get more traffic from Google, and then we will get more signups to our newsletter, and then we'll be able to charge more for sponsorships and ads in our newsletter. We're not having to worry about dealing with clients. Clients are going to come to us. People that want sponsorship slots are going to come to us. Like I said, it doesn't take a huge amount of time because we're going to use AI in order to do this. So we're not looking at spending 5 to 9 in our evenings every night doing this. Actually, with AI, within 20 to 30 minutes, you can get your newsletter written, published, and then you can spend the rest of the time promoting it. Again, with a blog post, if we're using tools, we can get this done in 20 to 30 minutes. So you're not spending a huge amount of time on it. Then you can have your phone out. You can be using things like Instagram, Facebook in order to promote your newsletter, get traffic to it, and start getting those subscribers coming in. One thing we do need to do is we need to have something called topical authority. This means that Google sees us as an authority on a topic, and obviously the people coming to our website do as well. We want to provide the best information on the local area. So this might be to do with your business. If you've got a local business and you want to start a newsletter that you can use as an additional income stream, it might be, as we said, about parenting. It might be about food and drink and what's on the weekend. It might be some kind of networking or business newsletter. It really depends on what you want to target. But we're talking about these topics and we're focusing on what's going on in our local area. So what will happen with our blog is we'll talk about one big idea, and then from that we'll break that down into smaller ideas. So this could be food, and then it could be different food styles, and then from there we could talk about different restaurants. And we're going to build up our blog in the right way that makes Google very, very happy. Now, you're probably already familiar with this without realizing it, because when you go onto websites, you'll be able to see lots of drop down menus, and those menus have options, and you click on that menu and you get more options. This is basically a schematic of how we will set that up. It's not that difficult to do. Like I said, all you're doing is starting off with sort of food as your top page. You'd write a bit about food. Then from there, you would maybe drop down into different traditional food types for your particular area. Maybe this might be restaurants and food trucks, and then sort of takeaways or something like that. And then you'd be talking about individuals. So you're still going to be writing all this content. We're just doing it in a nice, organized way. But what that means is our content is more likely to turn up at the top of Google, and then we can drive that traffic from the blog to our newsletter and get our sign-ups. And this is better than just a website, because if we are getting those sign-ups, what it means is that we have those email addresses. We own our list, as people in the industry say. And what that means is we don't have that issue of people coming to our website, getting the information and disappearing. They come to our website, they get the value they need. We sell them on subscribing to our email list. That might be some kind of lead magnet like coupons or discounts, or just how much value they're going to get from our newsletter. And then once we have that email address, then we get to keep that. And as we go from 100 up to 10,000 subscribers over time, what that means is that we'll always own that list. And then we can start contacting sponsors, and we can say to them, look, we've got 500, 1,000, 10,000 people on our list. This is how much we charge. Here's the link if you want to pay for it. And then all you have to do in order to fulfill on that is you have to be able to cut and paste a little bit of information along with a link into your newsletter, and then people will click on those links and be sent over to the sponsor. And that's all you have got to do. You haven't got to build websites. You haven't got to deliver social media packages, anything like that. You don't have to deal with directly with clients. All you have to do is put their links and a bit of information about them in your newsletter, and then send it out to your audience, and you've fulfilled your part of the deal. So if you'd like to know a little bit more about the styles of newsletters that you could write about for a local newsletter, either if you start it as a standalone local newsletter or as part of your local business, then click the link on the screen now, watch that video, and it will tell you what your options are.